What's up everyone, it's David here, and we're going to take a look at the Samsung Gear S3 Frontier smartwatch. Now, I've been using this for just over a month now. I wanted to see if this was worth swapping over a more conventional watch, and I've been very surprised at how much I've really enjoyed using it. This was sent to me by the Insiders UK for evaluation. Doesn't sway my opinion, but thanks to them for sending this along. These retail for £349.99. Whether that's worth it is entirely up to you. Everyone's perception of price is different, but I certainly felt that it is worth the money, which I'll show you in a moment more of the features. So it is made of 316L stainless steel. You can see it's very, very well made. It's reassuringly hefty, but it isn't uncomfortable to wear. It's a really comfortable watch to wear day to day. It's flanked by these standard rubber straps you can see here, and these are removable just by taking away these locking pins here, and then the straps will pull away, and then you can put your choice of band on. So on the top you've got Gorilla Glass SR Plus. This protects the 1.3-inch Super AMOLED full circle display. I say full circle because some watches do have the flat tire at the bottom, which does have the ambient light sensor built in. The ambient light sensor is actually built into the display on this watch, which is a nice thing to see, and that controls the brightness quite nicely. Now, this is set to brightness 5. You can see already that is bright enough. You can actually ramp it up to 10, which is ridiculously bright, but I find that this is actually an ideal brightness. So powering the watch is an Exynos 7270 1GHz dual processor. That keeps things ticking along nicely. It's an in-house Samsung processor. You may recognize the name from some of their phones. There's 768 megabytes of RAM, and there's 4 gigabytes of storage with 1.5 gigabytes available to the user. Now, the reason for that is because Samsung do insist on preloading some of their software. Just like their phones, there's lots of useless or useful, depends on how you see it, apps, and they basically take up a lot of the space. Now, the most irritating thing is that they can't be deleted. So for the money that you pay for this kind of watch, you're not given the choice on whether you want to keep the apps or not. So that's something to keep in mind, but it's not a deal breaker. You're not going to be installing gigabytes and gigabytes worth of personal information on this watch. It's not a media consumption device. Your phone is there for that, or your tablet, for example. As a watch itself, it's very, very well thought out, and it works really, really well. Now, it is powered by Tizen Os. It's not Android Wear. Tizen Os is Samsung's in-house operating system. If you have a Samsung TV, you will recognize the name because some of their TVs do use that operating system. It feels really well matched with the hardware, which is one great thing. It does seem very well optimized to the software, so the hardware and software work really, really well together. Now, it does have built-in Wi-Fi, so it's not entirely dependent on the Bluetooth function to be tethered to your phone, for example. So it can be tethered to your phone, so it pushes the information to the watch. However, you can switch that off, and you can use the built-in Wi-Fi. So if you are near a hotspot in a restaurant, pub, or you're at home, then you can access things like your Spotify playlists, and also as well some of the reminder events can be pushed to the watch as well. Now, it is powered by a 380 mAh battery. Samsung say this gives up to 4 days battery life. My actual real world usage was around about 2 days. 2 days tops, maybe a push you can go over the 2 days, but 2 days is what you'd really be looking at. 4 days is a stretch. I had it once when the watch was first taken out of the box. I charged it up to 100%, and it did last 4 days, but I hardly touched it. I was nursing it for those 4 days. Real world usage, when you're sort of fiddling around with it and getting notifications and things like that, then you will see a dip to that, and it'd be around about 2 days. So the display is 360 by 360 pixels per inch. Now, it does seem a bit strange because it's just over an inch, but the pixel density is actually really nice, if you can see that. Okay, this isn't the greatest watch face to showcase it, but the inky blacks of the Super AMOLED screen do complement the watch faces really nicely, and in pretty much any light, inside or out, the screen has held up really, really well, which I'm quite impressed with. So one of the main standout features of this watch is this awesome rotating bezel here. So this is really tactile, and it hasn't lost any of its clickiness since I've had the watch over a month. Sometimes these things do wear down over time, but it's got a sort of a reassuring clickiness each time you go through, and it's so tactile as well. I really wish this would be included on other smartwatches because it's an excellent feature, and I've really enjoyed using it. On the side of the watch here, we've got the main power button here, and then at the back, at the top here, we've got the back button. And if you were to push the menu key, so this gets you into the main menu as well. So you can use the bezel then to rotate through these menus, and there are some pre-installed apps. I did install some others just for curiosity. I wasn't that impressed. The YouTube app, I'm just going to show you this really quickly. It's a bit of a laugh. It's nothing that you're going to be using on a day-to-day basis, but it is something that they have included. It's just a useless feature, and you're not going to be showing your friends anytime soon. So if we just go to any, it's okay, loading. Oh, bad lip reading, one of my favorites. Thinking about it. Okay, so it doesn't want to play it. Probably better. So you get the idea. That's the YouTube app on there. So looking around some of the other features, so you've got the built-in phone, which is actually quite useful. I used this a few times. Once inadvertently, I didn't realise the watch was actually ringing, and I just accepted the call. The person at the other end didn't know that it was just I was speaking on a watch and didn't really comment. So good feature to have. I've got to be really honest. You've got contacts, S Health, you'll recognise that from Samsung phones. The weather, music player, that's the Samsung built-in one. S Voice, which my mileage varied on that one. It sometimes recognised my voice, other times it just completely misunderstood what I'd said. And we've got the main settings. So if we go in here, we've got the styles, so we can see things like watch faces, watch always on, so that means the display would always be on. You've got notifications, so you show this on the watch face, so when you get a notification, I just go quickly back to the main screen, you'll see a small orange dot around about 9 o'clock, and you can just swipe this way and your notifications will be shown in this screen, which is really handy because you can reply to text messages from the watch itself. The keyboard is a little bit clunky, but in the keyboard section you can actually speak to it and dictate the reply, or you can actually draw on the screen at the same time. So back into the settings menu, so we've then got sounds and vibrations, so it does have its own built-in sounds. I just prefer it to be on silent with a gentle buzz on the wrist when needed. And then we've got the device functions, so double press home key gives you S Voice, and then the wake up gesture is basically when you lift the watch toward you, the screen will light up to show you the time. Now it does touch sensitivity. Now one little quirk of this was, as you can see here, use your device while wearing gloves by increasing the touch sensitivity of the screen. When it gets wet, because of the sensitivity, it does actually it basically interact with the display, so you will find that it will change some of the icons, so that's something to keep in mind if you are going to use the high touch sensitivity. So do not disturb, and then auto open apps. Yeah, okay. Alright then, so we've got the display functions then. So here's the brightness, so if we were to just show you how bright it can get, so yeah, that's really bright. So 5 it is, but the capacity is there should you need it. We've got auto low brightness, so that speaks for itself, and you've got the screen timeout, so this is set to 1 minute, but it can be set for lower if you need. Okay, you've then got call. Okay, so again, you've got voice answer, so you can just shout to the phone to answer rather than having to navigate around the bezel to take the calls. But the call integration I did find was pretty good. And you then got connection, so again, this has Bluetooth, you have Wi-Fi and NFC, so you can currently this isn't compatible with anything other than Samsung Pay, so I haven't seen Samsung Pay anywhere. Apparently this is used more sort of over in the US and some parts of Europe, but it's not something I've seen in the UK as yet. So you then got the alerts then, so it will tell you then when the Bluetooth is being disconnected from the watch itself. Flight mode speaks to itself. If you're getting on planes and what have you, you can then switch off all the radio functions of the phone so it doesn't interfere with aircraft. You've then got security, so you can have a pin on the main screen, accessibility for people who have visual or hearing impairments, and you've got the input then as well, so you've got the default keyboard. Again, it's a little bit fiddly, but it's great just for the odd quick reply I did find. And you've got the power saving mode as well. It saves battery by using a grayscale home screen, which I'll show you now. Enable power saving. Now this will give you 4 days, but it completely defeats the object of having this circular display, because you may as well just get one of those cheap Taiwanese watches from eBay and just have it like that instead, because that's okay if you really need to save power, but I do feel that we should you should just use the watch and enjoy it for what it is. It's a very nicely crafted piece of kit, and I've really enjoyed using it. So that's just a few features of the settings I've showed you there. So again, there are more apps. You can just swing over to the right there, and then it'll move into the next menu screen. So as you can see, there's pretty much something for everybody. Again, they're sort of the standard set of Samsung apps, and you can get more. For example, we've got Flipboard here. So if I click on that, so let's find something that's a bit less depressing. Okay, yeah, okay, well let's have a look at William and Kate Run Relay Race. Wow. So if you click on this, and it'll actually open the app on your phone, so I'll need to just unlock the screen here. So okay, so it's brought up a YouTube app for some reason. Alright, okay, William, Kate and Harry Run Relay Race for Mental Health Campaign. So you can see that it does a sort of warm handoff onto your handset, which is good. So speaking of handset, the watch itself, now you can use the Gear Manager application. This shows you all essential information about the watch on the screen. So you've got the battery life here, the storage that's been used, and the RAM. So if we click on the battery, this will just show you, give you an idea of how long it's been since I last charged the watch. So it's been 1 day, 12 hours, 52 minutes, 59 seconds on the battery. There's an estimated 1 day, 2 hours, 52 minutes left, which goes to show that it's pretty accurate as well. Unless I start hammering the watch with lots of apps and things like that, it will last that long. The Gear Manager app, I think, is a really slick application. It shows you some of the apps you can see here. Now again, there are watch faces for days. You'll be here looking at watch faces for absolutely ages, trying to find one that you really like. I prefer this is the standard watch face, which is included with the watch, and I quite like it. I haven't changed from it since I've had it. I have had a look at some of the other sort of watch faces, but I've kind of stuck with that one because that's usable and functional. It does everything that you're ever going to need. Quite amusing. The weekly top 350, that is some chart. If someone was to sort of introduce all of that, that'd probably take them a week to read through. So yeah, that's pretty bold. You've got the editor's picks at the top here. So again, there are some useful, dare I say, and some useless apps. My main bugbear is, £1.59 for an app that's going to be on something this small. I'm not saying developers should charge nothing, but maybe charge like 49 pence, for example. That's a bit more easier to swallow than it is to sort of pay £1.59. There's some apps in the normal app stores that aren't that much for sort of premium games, for example. So that is something to think about. I know developers have to make money. I know I get that, but charging £1.59 for things like this does seem a little bit salty. I'm sorry. So coming back out of there, so we've then got Spotify. That's actually got some good features. It is more of a remote app than sort of a fully fledged watch app, so it is pretty much beaming the information from your phone to the watch, but it's useful nonetheless. And you can use the bezel again to flick through tracks, for example, which is good. You've then got more watch faces, more watch faces, more watch faces, more watch faces. So you kind of get the idea. That is, it is a watch after all, and you will expect watch faces, but I've never seen quite a collection like this. There are some other apps you can see as well. There's a golf one there for keen golfers. This I spotted was quite amusing. YouTube on your wrist. I'm not sure whether that was a spelling and grammar issue. I'm not really sure whether it was intentional. Regardless, again, it's a sort of useless feature, but it's there. I'm sure it'll appear to lots of younger people, for example. Now there are games. We've got this here again. The pricing is a little bit questionable, I've got to be honest, but if you are looking for that kind of thing, it's nice to have a choice, to be honest. So overall, the Gear Manager app, I really like it. It's great just to dig into really quickly, just to see essential information about the watch itself, and it's very well implemented by Samsung. The actual setup as well is exceptionally slick. What I will do is make a quick video of that before the watch does get returned, to show you how the Gear Manager app integrates with the watch on first setup. So closing thoughts then. Yes, I would recommend this. This has been an excellent watch. For the price, saying for the price may do it a disservice, but £349 is really money well spent. You can spend far in excess of that for a standard mechanical watch, and I've been really impressed with how usable this has been. It's been comfortable. It's taken a few knocks and scuffs, and there's not even a scratch on it. It's been absolutely excellent. So if someone said to me, would you recommend this watch? Yes, I would. Some people may prefer the classic, but I do like the Frontier. Its rugged looks and its sort of toughness, and just the looks itself. The sort of black casing is more appealing. It's something different, and it is a nice watch. So if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. This is only my second video on YouTube, so I fully expect that there'll be some comments there. But if you've enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to see more videos in future. But for now, thanks ever so much for watching, and thanks for your patience in listening to this far. Again, I'll speak to you soon, and thanks very much for watching. Thanks, guys.